You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Adrian Autry and Alex Klein, they seem very excited about UCLA's William Kyle and Georgia Tech's Ibrahim Souare as that 1-2 punch. They are both 6'9". So, Neil, how do you view Syracuse's center position right now?
Unproven. Is it going to be a liability? That's to be determined. And Klein and Autry, emphatically stated that it doesn't matter that they're only 6'9" because they have wingspans and, verticality and all that jazz. So, and I would tend to agree. And we talked about this on the other podcast, a team like Houston went to the title game and frankly should have won the title. And I think their starting center was 6'8" or 6'9". So I don't know. For me, it's not about that. It's more just about, Kyle only averaged, I was looking that up when we were getting ready to talk here, about 10 minutes per game as a junior at UCLA. I do believe he had some injury stuff, but the year before that at South Dakota State, he was the Summit League Defensive Player of the Year, and he's known as a rim protector, blocks shots well. Souare, again, no disrespect, but he averaged, I'm just looking here, he averaged 17 minutes this past year for Georgia Tech, 2.8 points, 3.6 rebounds. He made 60% from the field, 31% from the free throw line.
31% from the free throw line.
I hope I got that right. That's what I was just looking at one of my articles, so hopefully I didn't put that. I don't remember how many attempts. It might have been limited attempts, but I don't know. Autry and Klein are really high on them. I assume Kyle would be the starter at this point. I think they'll be better defensively at the center spot, but Lampkin towards the middle or second-ish half of the year, he had a lot of double-doubles.
I think a lot of double-doubles throughout the year in general.
Yeah. I feel like he really got it. I think that happened a little bit more, especially after Donnie unfortunately got hurt. Let's be honest, he wasn't good on defense, but then again, no one on the team was. So, I'm not going to take shots at Eddie. So I think these two centers, while unproven and Kyle had some injury stuff. I think they'll be better defensively. I don't know how much offensive production Syracuse will get out of them. I'm also curious, are they going to each play around the same amount of time, or, is Kyle going to get 30 minutes and Souare, but like we talked about on the previous podcast, could we see Lampkin? Could we see Sadiq White and or Donnie Freeman at the 5 some too? Or, a combination of one at the 4, one at the 5. So yeah, I think there's some interesting line. I think this team is definitely more athletic on paper than last year's team. But I don't know. I'd love to see them get another center for depth's sake, but I don't think they're going to land a center this late in the game that's going to be their starter. I
agree with you on that.
Yeah. So we'll see. I hope the center spot isn't a liability. I don't think, at least as the roster's constructed and just again on paper, I don't think it's going to be one of the first, second, or third top strengths of the team, but I'm hoping it's not like a big issue. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So I agree. I know I'm a huge Adrian Autry critic, and I agree with him that I don't care that they're only 6'9". I really don't.
Whatever.
I don't think it matters all that much. Obviously, at some point, the height kind of does matter, but at 6'9" in college basketball, that's okay. You can get by with a 6'9" center. So that's not my worry. My worry is the ability.
Yep.
I don't think either one of these guys are starting caliber centers in the ACC. I just don't. That's how I feel right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think they are. The way I look at it is, there's 18 starting point guards. There's 18 starting shooting guards, 18 small forwards, 18 power forwards, and 18 starting centers in the ACC. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and be an expert on every single team, but
right.
I look at the starting center spot, and I think that's probably the lowest ranked among all the position groups for Syracuse basketball right now relative to the conference. Like,
Oh,
I don't think
question.
particularly. I don't think it's close either.
Yeah.
Like I think it is probably the big weakness of the team. It's not that they're 6'9". It's that I don't know if they're that good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that trio is ready to play even 35 minutes a night and can they even be are they serviceable?
Right.
Like the way I look at it is you have 18 starting centers in the ACC, but there are not 18 starting caliber centers in the ACC. In reality, it's probably about half that actually really have the ability to start, and everyone else probably is miscast. That's just the way the sport works. Sure. I use it in sport and pro sports all the time. Like, oh yeah, this guy is a regular. There's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, but there are not 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, if you know what I'm saying. Like, there's really only about 20 to 25, and everyone else is kind of just rotating in and out. Yeah. That's the way I kind of view it with these centers. I don't think either of them are starting caliber big men in the ACC. I look at their defense and I say, yeah, so why don't the metrics like William Kyle? What am I missing? I would be happily proven wrong about it.
Sure.
Like genuinely, I would love to be wrong. I would love to come on the podcast 3 games into the season being like, yeah, William Kyle's just an elite defender. I don't know what Evan Maya was talking about. Like, it's just wrong. Like Evan Maya's just wrong. I'm watching it with my own 2 eyes. I see it. He's great on ball defense. He's great pick and roll. He obviously blocks shots. Like this is exactly what Syracuse needed. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. So I look at Syracuse's center spot and I view it as probably the biggest weakness on the team.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Definitely. Weakness, just unproven. Yeah, just not. Yeah, I agree.